heed the call. I can hear your voices calling me from a distant place, but I don't know what to do. Heed the call. Do I play it safe and stay behind, knowing what I face? Please tell me what to do. Heed the call. Rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny.
And welcome back, everyone. 2017 Blade&Soul World Championships. We're still in the semifinal stage where we're gonna try to find out who the best teams are that are good enough to get to the grand finals coming up next Friday. But as it stands right now, GC Busan Red did beat out the Russian side R&B Gaming in a 6-0 sweep to advance to the next part of the match, which will be the winner's match. That'll be happening later in this stage, but we're gonna get to the Group B, the second part, the second half of these semifinals. 4 teams that are left available. We're going to see the rest of the 2 teams, which will be GC Busan Blue and also PengGanDi coming from Taiwan, to see who's going to move up to the winner's match and who's going to be onto the loser match to join against R&B Gaming to play out that final match.
Yep. And you know, like we were talking about it during the break, and it's so unfortunate for R&B Gaming's, you know, regardless of, you know, what would have happened without a bug ever happening, you know, without having a remake and Youngyu Kim supposedly not getting any technical. We don't know the outcome, and you know, it is very unfortunate, but they are not out. And you know, if they play well in the losers match and make it up, and you know, they'll make it to the grand finals and have a chance of, you know, placing first. But for now, we do have GC Busan Red on screen. We have Yoon Tae-sun, Yoon Jae-jung, and Daeyoung Choi.
You see those 3 players there. You guys are very accustomed to. They will play majority just one class each.
Yeah.
Perhaps with Daeyoung Choi going with the Soul Fighter for troll picks. But other than that, we're going to see these 3 guys stick to those Summoner, also the Destroyer, and the Assassin combo. We're very aware of their competition at this moment, at this stage, but we're going to be up against a team that really pulled off all the miracles yesterday. They were down 5-1 against IDES, but this team, PengGanDi from Taiwan, is somewhat of an impossible, what I thought was an impossible reverse sweep, to get it back to a 6-5 win. Just a miraculous win for this guy's end, getting to the semifinal stage. It's a huge accomplishment for these teams already, but see this team right here, Tang Shi, Lin Xiang, and also Su Xingsheng. Also see these very familiar faces. I've seen them so many times, and these guys also play these classes that you guys are very aware of. They're not going to be very flexible. Keep these with these same Destroyer, Warlock, Assassin combination. It's actually very much the same against GC Busan Blue. Just a reminder of that.
Yep, and you know, as you mentioned about that incredible win against IDEPS yesterday, I don't remember a team ever being down 5-1 and winning the last 2 sets of tags to win, because usually when it's a 5-1 and you know, they are on the last set, the team that is 5 is usually the better team or having a better day on that day to just sweep it out and end it with the 7-1 victory. That's how it usually happens from my experience, from what I've seen throughout this tournament. But PengGanDi was incredible yesterday, getting the last 2 wins, even though they were down 4 points.
It was so important for Tangshu on the Destroyer to get that first Game 1 win against the Force Master Jung Ho-yoon with that Destroyer. That 1 point kept them in the game.
Yep.
And really, if that win wasn't there, there wouldn't have been an opportunity to go for the reverse sweep.
It would have been a 6-0 sweep.
Really would have been. And that guy right there, you see on the screen, that was the hero. Kept them in the series, and Tangshu really wants to do the same thing. Do a little bit of heavy lifting against GC Busan Blue, but we can definitely be able to say GC Busan Blue is a lot tougher opponent than IDEPS represents. So it's gonna be a much tougher opponent for PengGanDi to deal with. Whether we're gonna go back to us actually. Might not move right onto the matches itself, but how do you see this match coming forward? Because GC Busan Blue is such a strong team, and it would be weird to not have them in the finals, obviously. But just all that put it together, PengGanDi pulled off a miraculous win to get here. Will they be good enough to pick out a win against GC Busan Blue?
Well, you never know, because to be honest, yesterday when they were down 5-1 and, Hongshu, the Destroyer, got a win against Jung Ho-yoon in the beginning, and, that was a good start. But they just ended up losing everything until the last 2 sets of tags. And when it was 5-1, I just thought, yeah, PengGanDi, they tried their best. They even beat Jung Ho-yoon as a Destroyer. That's something to remember them by. But, they came back and it was amazing, and that just shows how much mentality, how strong their mental game is. Even if they're down 5-1 or 5-0, it doesn't matter how much they're down. They're going to try hard, the hardest, until the end to see, until if they actually lose or win. Yeah. And that actually brought them the win yesterday. And even against GC Busan Blue, like you said, a very strong team, probably a lot stronger than IDEPS in skill level wise. But, they're not going to give up, and a miracle could happen.
Basically the mental strength of Tangshu and the rest of the side of PengGanDi, and the resilience that they've been showing against IDEPS might pay off once again against GC Busan Blue. But they need to win at least a few games to stay in the Busan. Yeah. If you get to Game 5 and do not pick up a single win, it will be a 6-0 sweep before any type of comeback opportunity does occur for the Taiwanese side. So getting a few wins, maybe Tangshu can come back and get another surprise win in the early stages of the game. Keep them in this one, and if they do it again, my gosh, Game 6, Game 7 win to get the reverse sweep once again against GC Busan Blue, I'll just get out of my chair right now, and that's going to be so much hyped to go for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and I also remember talking about Team PengGanDi yesterday when Hongshu beat Jung Ho-yoon. It was the first time ever seeing Team PengGanDi put a smile on their face. All 3 of them, they were so happy that actually happened. And I could kind of get the feels that they were satisfied with that, even if they ended up losing, and even if they did, get knocked out yesterday, which they didn't. But even if they did, I'm pretty sure they would have gone home a happy man, or as a happy team, for beating Jung Ho-yoon with the Destroyer. And that's gonna stay forever until blade&soul disappears. But yeah,
we never know, because Won-Shik Lee on the Blade Master, as you guys know from GFAM, holds a very unique record of beating out Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master with a Blade Master. Even Juno Han, the eyebrows from GC Busan Red, he couldn't even get that done when he was on his prime. When he was back on the Blade Master back in the day. But seems like we're gonna be advancing to the matches pretty soon. But like I said, unique records do hold, and Tangshu holds his own by beating out Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master in Worlds against Jung Ho-yoon's Force Master. But this time, it's going to go against a Warlock instead of a Force Master. Tangshu will be out for set 1. He's going to be up against Yoon Jae-jung on the Warlock for GC Busan Blue there. See how this match unfolds.
Yeah, let's see how much Yoon Jae-jung practiced, because he did bring out the Summoner yesterday. And remember, that was his main, but he ended up losing with the Summoner. So now he is bringing, just what he's been practicing the most recent times. So he will be on his Warlock, and let's see if he is good enough of a Warlock to beat Hongshu's Destroyer.
I mean, it's really weird to say that, because, good enough to beat Tangshu is the question you really put forth. Is that whether Tangshu really has, made himself the name that he's worthy of. We're gonna be finding out in one more match. This is an adventure against the Warlock. Stay on. Oh my goodness.
We'll have to see. When the characters come out, it might change. Okay.
Oh my.
It is official.
Fury build coming in from Tangshu. Took a picture with this man yesterday.
And the Fury is procced.
The love was in the air, but that is the Fury build, which I despise at its highest. Saw Vape from North America picking on a win with the Fury build, but none other have done it. There have been many who tried, many who made valiant efforts, but none couldn't get a win with the Fury build.
Ooh, smash. Fury will be coming back in 12 seconds. Will he be able to stay alive? Usually in the Korean matches.
This might be the great beginning of the Fury build. 5 seconds until that cooldown's back. Gets a good chase in the air.
All right. Now the Warlock is out of escape, and the Fury is back.
Wow.
One good CC. Oh, but the Void is back.
So the body swap will be the last resort for Yoon Jae-jung, but in the end, Tangshu still gonna move forward with that Fury, but he's not. That build is not built to just stay back and wait. Okay, gets the iron plating up. Still pokes him down, Yoon Jae-jung. Tangshu trying to look for that. When did proc that Fury build? Okay, does get a little bit of damage over the stun coming in. Still 2 seconds left of that 1 second wind is coming back.
He wants Yoon Jae-jung to use his second win, but he's keeping it there. But the Familiar is gone.
The Fury is
there we
now.
go.
We're gonna see a second
Yoon
win
Jae-jung
is
out
proc.
of escape.
He doesn't have the Familiar out either, so there's basically no escape for Yoon Jae-jung. If he gets killed by the Fury build, it will be the second win, and that might be it. Tangshu gets the second win on the Fury build. Destroy it, and this guy making everything work out in the past 2 days gets a win against JC Busan Blue. In a singles win, we have to mention of how small that actually is in terms of scoreline, but so big in the fact that you won out with a Fury build against a very, very strong team.
Yeah, and Tangshu once again showing us that he is proud with a smile, beating out Yoon Jae-jung's Warlock, who actually was playing the mind game with Tangshu by not using that escape until the very last moment. And Tangshu, I gotta give him props, man. He has done a lot of things in this World's Champions.
Man, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watching him for the first time now is gonna get a lot of fans going towards Tangshu. I can definitely say I'm one of the fans now, because this guy showing something else with that Destroyer that we haven't seen before. No Destroyer in World 2017 other than him has beat out Force Master Jung Yoon, and none other than him and Fury with the Vape coming from North America has done a win with the Fury build, as we like to mention. So many accomplishments to his name already, saying probably gonna remember him very much if he does come back for the 2018 World Championships next year. But just a win right now, and now PengGanDi's on the lead. It's a 1-0 lead, a very small one to say at the least, but whether they can continue on with this, we're gonna find out. But it's gonna be an assassin mirror match to help us answer that question. Daniel Choi on the side of JC Busan Blue will be up against Su-Ching Shang, the assassin. For the side of PengGanDi, so it will be the Korean assassin versus a Taiwanese assassin to see who's gonna be the better one this time around.
Yep, and Su-Ching Shang, as the assassin, to be honest, he hasn't been performing too well compared to his other two teammates. And as an assassin during tag, you have to be able to do your damage output in order for you, your team to win. But the music has changed, and we are getting ready for our set to our assassin mirror match. Let's get it on.
After that, first loss for the side of JC Busan Blue. You hear a lot more cheers from the crowd, trying to cheer them back up. Really didn't need that when you had a 6-0 GC Busan Red the previous series. After facing defeat, these fans watching from the crowds really wanted to give all their energy over to their home side.
Yep, Su Shang is the one in the white clothes that is stealth right now, and Daeyoung Choi
Gets the first stun.
okay, gets the first stun.
Now
They're
it's gonna
both out.
Yeah, it's gonna trading stealth both ways with Daeyoung Choi having used to have to use a Lotus of Escape for.
Both of them,
I
actually.
don't know how do we say that we do get
Oh,
both.
it is not good.
Okay,
When you're
no-
out of escape,
no
the first
escape.
EC landing,
Daeyoung Choi
yeah.
putting so much damage.
and he's not going to make a mistake.
Like not be, will that be enough time though? And we know that Assassin Mirror matches can go pretty swiftly as long as we don't have any escapes to get away from another stun. Daeyoung Choi had all of the skills available and went for the instant KO on that one.
Yep.
Give 1 point right back to the Busan side.
Yeah, Daeyoung Choi, you know, an assassin of Daeyoung Choi's caliber. He's not going to make a mistake, or he's going to redeem his mistake if he even makes a mistake. When your opponent is out of escapes, you know, you're just going to be 100-0 regardless of what class you are. So this is what we have just seen. Both of them actually didn't have escapes, you know, so if Shi Sang actually landed an escape on Daeyoung Choi first, maybe he could have had the chance for 100-0, but Daeyoung Choi made the move first.
Really did, and it's pretty even ground after those two escapes have been traded out towards both sides equally. But it was Daeyoung Choi going with aggression, getting that next stun. It was deemed an instant KO for this guy, and GC Busan Blue, after losing out game 1, they do pick it up and get that game 2, make it a 1-1 scoreline. Will be the tag coming up in game 3. See who's going to pick up that 2 points after sharing those points evenly throughout the first 2 games.
Yeah, and you know, if somebody wins this and takes that 2-point lead, this is going to give their momentum because, you know, like Joel said, they are only 1 point apiece, and getting that 2-point lead with just one match is huge for either teams. And right now, having 1 point, they have, you know, an evenly matched confidence right now, but this tag match is going to be worth a lot more than just 2 points.
Definitely that confidence level will change based on the results of this one, because 2 points is a large advantage when you're heading towards the last bits of this best of 7 in this series. So both teams really knowing the importance of winning out this game 3 and these 2 points that follow with it. So both these teams are ready to go. We're gonna head on to the match pretty soon to see who's gonna get that win and that 2 points crucially for their series to follow.
Yep, and it is best out of 7 always. In starting from today, it's always going to be, there won't be any best out of 4s because it's starting with the semifinals. And you know, we need the long matches for the team to cope. And for example, a situation like yesterday where PengGanDi was able to come back even with the 5-1, you know, losing streak right now, and then they came back and went 6-5.
We're gonna see whether PengGanDi able to pull another miracle. They did win out game 1 just as yesterday. Or they're gonna continue on with this pattern. We're gonna find out. Let's get up to game 3. Let's get on. There we go for game 3 between GC Busan Blue and PengGanDi from Taiwan. It's gonna be Yoon Jae-jung on the Warlock versus Su Shang on the Assassin.
Yoon Jae-jung actually getting that loss for his team. Might want to come out and redeem himself, but he does get CC'd. And Bombard combo right there, using his second wind right off the bat.
Still going over the damage though, even with that familiar out. Su Shang fearing no one at this stage. Going with the interfere now from Tong Shi.
Yep, Su Shang also, you know, the player that gave his team the loss. So we have the 2 losers, I guess, for the singles.
Yeah. Yoon Jae-jung did lose out in the first match against Tong Shi. You just saw him off that interfere to lose out against the Destroyer. And most notably being a Fury Destroyer, still lost out that one. So Yoon Jae-jung, along with Su Shang, both are seeking redemption in this game 3.
Yep, let's see which one will get that redemption or get that revenge against GC, you know, GC Busan Blue or against PengGanDi. right now it seems pretty even. They all have their escapes. He will get his Lotus of Escape back in like 2 seconds, so it is a reset basically.
And you saw early in the stage where Switching Shang put out a lot of damage onto Yu Jae-jung. Over time, the HP does come back a little bit towards your side and does bring out the familiar once again, Yu Jae-jung, and maybe he might go for the aggression here. We'll send the Lotus down in case of that escape availability for the Taiwanese side.
Tether Blade does land. Uses his Lotus of Escape to get out of that CC.
Okay, now he's gonna go on the aggression here. He's gonna go for the familiar, trying to put into damage onto him. Jae-jung takes a small bit of that damage, but has to use a second wind, but it's gonna be a forced tag towards both sides. A chase will be seen.
Xian comes in on the Warlock. The force tag has happened for both sides. No escapes have been used until just now. That Void Walk.
Had to use that body swap to get away from the damage. Now it's gonna be Daeyoung Choi, who did win out game 2. Wants to do that again in this game 3 will be worth a lot more than a single point.
Yep. Daeyoung Choi has the advantage right now with both escapes being available.
Now even Lin Xiang, Familiar is gonna go down any second now.
Oh.
Have to use a second win hopefully, but gonna force out the defense to interfere instead. Switching Shang.
Yep. A total of 3 interferes has been used on PengGanDi's side already, whereas GC Busan Blue just used their first interfere. So this resource points, if this goes to the late game, it's going to hit them hard.
And note that no tag point has been used so far. Both players did come in from that free tag, force tag. So coming in with the damage now, trying to go for it. And Choi goes for the counter. Lin Xiang still puts decent amount of damage. To use the first tag point here. This side of PengGanDi. Tong Shu is back out onto the field.
Yep, will Peng Shu be able to replicate what he did in singles in this tag match?
You see Tong Shu here. Gonna go with the Fury build this time around. Gonna go for the stability.
Yeah.
The safety first team.
Alright, reaction to 2v2.
It's gonna be Daeyoung Choi taking a lot of damage. Coming in from Switching Shang actually putting a lot of damage with that bombard. Gonna be enough to force out a tag point from Daeyoung Choi, bringing Yoon Tae-sun for the first time on that destroyer.
Yeah, we have the mirror match now. Oh, tags out because he was out of all of his games,
Gets
and
the
the chase.
Yeah, chase will be good enough to proc the stealth.
Yep.
Tap escape coming out now for Switching Shang. Send the Lotus in case another danger does occur for this guy.
Yeah, and he has been performing pretty well in this tag match rather than, playing in singles where he gave his team a loss. But right now, he is in the air, right when I complimented him.
Yeah, I mean, Yoon Tae-sun read that approach coming in exactly, and even goes for those wedges. He's been very good with those wedges, pummeling people to the face. Been very good at that since yesterday when he did try to go for that destroyer carry. Switching Shang using the Lotus of Escape to actually make the offensive initiate towards Yoon Tae-sun. Stun the bombard. It's a decent amount of damage, but takes a little bit of damage himself as well from Yoon Tae-sun.
Yeah, and the resource points on both sides, their management is pretty awesome right now. Even though PengGanDi is a little down regarding tag points and interfere points, but still, they have enough to last the next 2 minutes until they get another interfere point.
See, noting that we're only reaching the halfway mark of this match. About to get to that 5-minute mark. He's Switching Shang, who's done pretty well throughout this tag. Trying to continue on with this, puts the bombard. Doesn't connect that time around. Be a lot of damage coming from that poison breath. Tae-sun really negating all that damage with the stability. He's gonna go out on the force tag, but it had to use the tag in. Lin Xiang is gonna be pulled in. Force tag, not even gonna go for the chase there because Lin Xiang
gets dragged in at the last minute.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Daeyoung Choi not gonna be allowed to put in the damage onto Lin Xiang. Tries to put the bombard down, but the Sanctum is still protecting the Warlock for the Taiwanese side.
Distortion.
Now Lin Xiang's familiar is gonna be choked out. And it's gonna be a familiar less. Lin Xiang against the Yoon Tae-jung, who has his companion ready. We'll be going that back on cooldown though. Tong Shu comes in for the interfere. Let's go for something here. The Iron Plating though, really serving nothing, so a little waste of interfere there from the Taiwanese side. PengGanDi. And Choi trying to go for something again. Gets him down, so a waste of interfere there for the side of GC Busan Blue.
Tae-Hwan Shu comes in.
Okay, the bombard is going to be
Ooh.
coming in from Su-Ching Shang. Not too much damage though.
Alright, both teams are doing very well right now. They are keeping their health pretty healthy. Even though PengGanDi side has used a little bit more resource points, they are staying in the game and doing enough damage.
Oh, that's the stun coming in from Tae-Hwan Shu. He could have used the interfere there, but that's going to be good enough threat to get him out of the field. Now Daewon Choi comes in from that tag point from Yuntae-son. Does have one tag point with one interfere. His teammates still have plenty of interferes to help him out there.
Yep, playing it slow.
20 seconds mark until we get that interfere point back for everybody. Get up into the air. Yu Jung trying to go for the damage now onto Tae-Hwan Shu. Brings out the defensive interfere from Lin Xiang. Save his teammate.
Yep, 10 seconds until that 3-minute mark.
Okay, it doesn't seem like a stun will come through, but the gust will be procced by the destroyer. Ooh, Ice Mine is going to be popped by Daewon Choi. Now the 3-minute mark has passed, so interfere points are plenty for everyone out on the field.
PengGanDi decides to use the tag point to tag out, and it's an assassin mirror match.
Su-Ching Shang back out onto the field. Lin Xiang, we haven't seen too much of him, but he's already used 2 tag points. All of a sudden, it's going to be an assassin mirror match until Yoon Jae-jung comes back out on the Warlock.
Yep, Daewon Choi using the last of his tag points.
Okay, gonna be damage coming towards Yoon Jae-jung. Yoon Jae-jung is still gonna save his tab escape and his body swap. So all that escape availability still there for him.
He's stunned into the stealth.
There we go. Coming in, Yoon Tae-sung coming for the interfere. Su-Ching Shang does get all of his escapes back with the time distortion coming in from the destroyer.
Oh, he's making his move on to Yoon Jae-jung, but he gets tether bladed.
Another stealth being used by the Taiwanese side. Yoon Jae-jung still have all the escapes available. Still gonna go aggressive. Su-Ching Shang really just wants the damage onto him, and Yoon Tae-sung comes back out. Really can't take the poke anymore, Yoon Jae-jung, and does use his last tag point in place. Yoon Tae-sung's assassin.
Yep, and Su-Ching Shang and Yoon Tae-sun are the only 2 players with the tag points out, which makes it alright for them to be on the field. But now, their PengGanDi is 2 less of an interfere point compared to GC Busan Blue right now. So they have to manage this very well and not waste any interferes at all if they want to stay in this.
Now you see the HP bars pretty even towards the 3 side as we reach the 1-minute mark. How do you reckon this will end if it does go to TKO ending?
Well, right now it seems as if PengGanDi has taken a little bit more damage compared to GC Busan Blue. So we'll have to see what happens within this 1 minute that is left on the clock.
Definite difference maker will be needed from PengGanDi, whether they get a KO or just get more damage chart until they reach that 0 end of the game mark. Lin Xiang trying to best try to get that done.
Yeah, we do have a mirror composition
Hey,
here.
but Lin Xiang's gonna go up into the air, and that's gonna be interrupted, but still leads to a good amount of damage. Oh, that's gonna be Lin Xiang taking the damage from Yoon Jae-jung.
They're going back and forth.
Really
Yoon Jae-jung
is.
took that, and then it went back to Lin Xiang.
Lin Xiang has no tag point available, so he will be the last man available.
Leech. All right, Iron Plating coming in to save.
Tae-Hwan
And just
Shu.
remember, this is a mirrored composition, so
Really is.
the health bar, you can just tell that PengGanDi has taken more damage by now. 20 more seconds left of this match.
It's gonna really up to Lin Xiang, the rest of PengGanDi to put in as much damage to get this towards their side, but it just seems like GC Busan Blue will get the win here if it does end in this manner. Seems like they have gathered up more damage overall compared to the opposition, and it will end in a TKO. We'll get to the damage chart to see whether GC Busan Blue, based on our predictions, will be the winner off of the damage chart.
Yeah, and we'll have to see, but it's probably going to be GC Busan Blue. There we go.
We saw the difference there.
Wow!
Really?
Really?
700 difference?
700 difference, which means even though it was a mirror composition, GC Busan Blue has healed up a lot more compared to PengGanDi, and PengGanDi was just busy doing damage rather than healing. So probably Yoon Tae-sun's Destroyer healed up a lot more compared to Tae-Hwan Shu's Destroyer.
Yeah, I can see a lot of tilt going with that number difference. If PengGanDi was really aware of the fact that it was only a 700 difference, probably just went one more poke damage. Probably would have been good enough to beat out the damage chart. So
This is probably the smallest damage difference ever that I have seen.
Yeah,
not only in Worlds,
yeah.
not only in Worlds, just ever. Yeah, in a tag team match.
Of course, yeah.
700 is, wow, that's a very close game. And now that even though PengGanDi got that loss, seeing that small difference just shows them and gives them hope that GC Busan Blue isn't that far away from catching up to.
It really is, and GC Busan Blue had been in trouble for many other occasions, and we saw a confirmation of that once we saw the damage chart being so close between the two sides.
Yeah.
It really wasn't far behind for PengGanDi, so a positive mindset, positive outtake from this match can be that they do have a decent chance beating out GC Busan Blue altogether. Still have many matches that they have to face. As it stands, it's going to be 3-1 currently in favor for GC Busan Blue. So getting closer and closer to a bit of a deja vu from yesterday when IDEPS got them on the lead for 5-1, and PengGanDi was in a situation where they had to win every single game, and they did to be in this stage. So of course they don't want to have that happen again. The pressure is really high when in that 5-1 situation. So PengGanDi, knowing this, probably wants to win as many singles of the two that will be coming up very soon.
Yeah, and we have Yuntaesun's Assassin again versus Lindsey Hang's Warlock. And every time Yuntaesun brings out the Assassin, we always say it.
It's bad.
Because during the Korea seasons, he said he promised that he won't bring out the Assassin because he performed horribly in 2 of the matches that he brought out the Assassin.
I mean, even he knows it's bad.
Yeah. He admitted it, and he admitted it in the backstage to us too. And now here we go with Yuntaesun's Assassin once again when they have their own choice Assassin.
That's the biggest question I want to throw out is why isn't Daeyeon Choi stopping this guy from playing the Assassin? But nonetheless, it's going to be Yuntaesun back out on this infamous Assassin versus Lin Xiang on the Warlock. Let's get the match underway. Let's get it on. The only conclusion I can come up with this pick now there's a lot more occurring, is that Yuntaesun on the Destroyer doesn't feel like it's a viable single pick.
Yeah, maybe he's not as comfortable on a Destroyer for singles as, many of the other Destroyers that come out and show us a good performance.
But already proving himself with a little bit of damage. Going towards Lin Xiang. Yuntaesun picking out the initial strike towards his opposition.
Yep. They both, just saving their interferes. Even though Lin Xiang took some damage, it's okay. A Warlock, just one good aerial to take out 70% health.
Okay, that's going to be the second win, being knocked off that stun from Lin Xiang. So Yuntaesun, he knows what to do from here. Just kind of wait for the familiar to die out off that cooldown. And that will be his goal, but going aggressively.
All right.
Distortion though.
Right before the familiar is gone. There we go.
Good use of that, Lin Xiang, to make sure he does have that escape available once another dangerous situation comes through. But let's go for the offensive now onto Yuntaesun, and just can't stand back forever. Another stun coming in, and second win being procced already. Right after the time distortion had come through, Lin Xiang escapeless. Does have the familiar out once again, so Void Walk, that body swap will be available to him.
Yep, and 22 seconds until the second escape comes back. But Yuntaesun isn't playing a fast-paced game. However, he was able to make his offensive moves, and he didn't use any escapes yet. So basically, Yuntaesun has the advantage overall from the 30-second plays that we have seen so far. 1 minute and 30 seconds right now.
You know what we've been saying about Warlock needing just one chance. Put him up in the air. Dealing so much damage is what they want out of this class, and another second win being used. Doesn't even have to Void Walk now with the familiar out off the field. Sun, if he's aware of this fact, he's going to go for this now. Stun coming in with the Bombard. Will he go for the 100-0? The familiar is back out. They had to use a Void Walk though.
Yep,
so
right away.
Literally escapeless is Lin Xiang for the next 15 seconds.
Yep.
Someone Sanctum. Yuntaesun really trying to measure out how he should go in, but he gets the
aerial.
one to cut. And Lin Xiang tries to deal the initial damage onto his opponent. 42 seconds left to go.
All right, it's been a very slow-paced game, but they
of
know the
damage,
clock is going down.
terms of damage, I feel like Yuntaesun has a little bit of edge right here with Lin Xiang healing back some of the health right back towards him. Hasn't been as much healing coming from Yuntaesun, so I would predict if it does end like this, Yuntaesun will get the win.
Yeah,
Let's
but
find
he
out.
is taking some damage now. But now, back to Lin Xiang taking that damage.
And that's going to be after Lin Xiang. 10 seconds left to go. Has to go pretty aggressively to put out as much damage as he can towards his opponent.
No.
Bombard coming in with the lightning
5
rod.
seconds.
And Lin
Oh,
Xiang
he's
should
keeping
be standing
distance.
there. I don't think he should be
Yeah.
standing there. He just should go for the damage. And
Yeah.
as timer runs out, maybe he had his eyes off the clock. The only explanation for why he didn't go aggressively near the last few seconds, but most likely will be Yuntaesun getting out the win right here with the damage.
Yep.
There you go. That's a huge enough difference.
Almost double. Well, not double, but almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, Lin Xiang, I don't know why he just stood there. At that point, regarding damage charts, he should have known that he was going to lose if it went down to the TKO. So he should have just gone aggressive, even if he does get KO'd somehow.
Yeah.
He should have just gone all in for the last 5 to 10 seconds. But he just stood there when it was obvious that Yuntaesun was keeping the distance, running away. But Lin Xiang just stood there very dull, not making any offensive moves at the end.
And you know what another conclusion of this is ending? Yuntaesun's assassin gets another win. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, this is bad feelings. Where Yuntaesun now is going to feel that his assassin is viable.
He thinks he's an assassin god now. With
No.
so many wins with the recent times. He is undefeatable on the
no,
assassin. That's what
no.
he's thinking probably.
Please, no.
Please don't
Don't
think that
do
way,
that to
Yuntaesun.
me.
We'll tell you up front that
Don't.
you are not the best assassin
Yeah,
in
don't-
Korea.
Don't. Please don't. But now we are going to be getting ready for our 5th set. Last singles of this first portion. And if GC Busan Blue gets this win, it's going to be 5-1, a literal
Again.
deja vu of
Yeah.
yesterday. And PengGanDi will be sending out Su Shin-sang on the assassin and Yoon Jae-jung on the warlock. The 2 losers of set 1 and 2.
We're seeing the loser reunion here with Game 5 coming up. Su Xingsheng hasn't done much, but the tag contribution was pretty good. Didn't lead to a win though, but it was a very, very close difference as we knew in Game 3. But it's going to be up against Yoon Jae-jung, who has been doing pretty well. Didn't win out the singles, but really wants to do that. Get a win, this time for GC Busan Blue to add another point.
Yeah, and like you said, Su Shin-sang did perform pretty well in tag. Same goes for Yoon Jae-jung. But now, for back to singles, 2 losers of set 1 and 2. Let's see who will get this victory in set 5. Let's get it on.
And perhaps if PengGanDi, if they believe in rituals, they might just intentionally lose out this one to make it a 5-1. So they will get a repeat performance of yesterday and win 6-5.
Yeah,
We haven't asked them about their ritual beliefs, so hopefully they'll try their best.
Yeah, Su Shin-sang is out of stealth. Yoon Jae-jung is comfortably just, playing aggressive against this assassin who is out of stealth.
Doesn't have the Lotus of Escape though, so Su Xingsheng, which he does use as we just say that, so will be escapeless for all that damage coming from Yoon Jae-jung. Maybe they do believe in rituals and wants to purposely lose out this one. I would highly doubt that, but
To the blade, and yep, we hear the whole bus.
intentionally or not, he does get another loss, and it's back to day 4 for these guys. PengGanDi 5-1 once again. Will they do it? We talked about it right before any of these matches began.
Yep.
If they can do this the same thing against GC Busan Blue, win game 1, lose the rest, and win game 6 and 7 to get another series win. I'm telling you.
But
I'd just be ecstatic by all of this because I don't think it would happen, but I thought that yesterday.
Oh yeah.
But it happened, so the surprises really do never end in World Championships, and really want to see whether PengGanDi can really pull it off once again. They can't lose any more games from here on.
Yeah, and it is basically a deja vu because Shu was actually the only one who won that singles yesterday. That's the same thing today, and then they ended up making it a 5-1 again.
Wow. I don't know
Well,
what
we'll
to
have to
say,
see.
Andy.
Yeah, I
don't
don't.
know.
I just want to get into set 6 to actually see if they can make this possible, an actual deja vu of yesterday.
You're gonna have to see because GC BUSAN Blue, they have no thoughts of giving away a 6-5 loss away to opponents.
Oh,
They're
no.
probably just looking to close it out right here in Game 6. Just call it a day and let them just have their disbelief in rituals from here on. GC BUSAN Blue, pretty successful for most of 2017. I say that. They won Season 1. They also won Season 2. Most successful, almost came through in the Korea Finals when they couldn't beat out GC BUSAN Red to get that first place. They only got second, and I say only because of how much success they had in previous turns. But here they are back again in World Championships. Haven't faced too much threat from any of the teams that they have faced, but here they are trying to get another win and head to the semifinals. It will be confirmed. If they do win, it will be at least placed into at least a second or third seed. So we're going to be finding out whether they can finish off right here or whether it be PengGanDi's miraculous run coming through once again. We're going to find out in Game 6. Let's get it on. And as I just mentioned, ending, this match literally is for avoiding elimination, because if you do win out this particular series, there is no way you will be eliminated from this semifinals, and you will head on to the grand final stage at least as third, second, or first.
Yep, and you know, I do have hopes for PengGanDi because they've only lost their tag in a TKO with the difference of only 700 damage difference. So, you know, they definitely have a chance of maybe doing a deja vu, really, making it a 6-5.
Definitely doesn't seem impossible at this stage,
Yeah.
but Suji Chang
Oh,
taking too much
no.
damage. He might have to tag out, but force out a defensive interfere. Very risky there.
Is his tag not working again? Because he's not tagging out. Okay, he did tag out.
So
Okay.
we have it confirmed that the tag button is working.
Yeah, he just wasn't tagging out.
The retreat has been used by Tong Shi. Be facing against Daeyoung Choi. Really hard to defeat an assassin with a destroyer. Tong Shi has shown more difficult tasks being done.
Oh, in the air.
Damage
Taking
out
a lot of
now. Tong
damage.
Shi chunked out from the side of Yoon Jae-jung and Daeyoung Choi, going for that aerial combo.
Yep, he did proc that Fury and then he tagged out. But anyways, yeah, Lin Yang is out right now against Daeyoung Choi. Gets that leech.
So that time distortion, but it's gonna bring out Yoon Tae-son. Have to use that first tag point. We saw the side of PengGanDi use 2 points already. Yoon Jae-jung now gonna pull him in. Lin Yang be a little bit under threat.
Oh, in the
Gonna
air.
get damage on. I mean, Yoon Jae-jung trying to disrupt him.
Yep, just coming in and just damage dealing to Lin Yang while he's hurting it.
This is the wall bang. This is a very OP wall bang we've been talking about. That is telling you, it just seems unfair with so much damage coming through from that destroyer strike alone. I'm telling you, Daeyoung Choi just tickled him, and rest of the damage really did go to Yoon Tae-son.
Yeah, and you notice that, you know, it's uninterferable. Because if you do
can't do
interfere on top of someone that's getting wallbanged by a destroyer typhoon, you're just
you'll
gonna
get
get
wallbanged too, yeah.
wallbanged at the same time. So, you know,
It's really unfair, to be honest. I mean, you don't want to fall into that situation, but I reckon NCSoft will make some adjustment to that very soon, right after this Worlds. But I can't speak for that myself. Have no credit under that statement that I just made, but just hoping, as a personal viewer of blade&soul, would like to see things more balanced, but definitely that destroyer wallbang, as we've seen in the past couple of days, has seen very tremendous, almost to the point of unfair amount of damage to their opponents.
it's just the fact that, you know, you can't help out. The damage itself is okay because, you know, the interfere comes in. That's why it's a lot of damage. But the typhoon itself, the wallbang is just, you know, you can't help. It's not a stun. You can't escape out of it. It's the wallbang. So that is the unfair part. That is the unjust part. But, you know, for now, stay away from walls, guys. Don't get grabbed by a destroyer so he doesn't bring you to a wall. So just 2 tasks when you're versing a destroyer. Don't get grabbed by him. Stay off the wall.
And another advice is that do not automatically pick a destroyer thinking that you're going to win every ranked match from here on. Only skilled players can pull that off, and if you think that you can do that every time and literally go undefeated in the tag matches or the singles, You're definitely thinking wrong, but we thought it was going to be a miracle story once again for PengGanDi, but no surprise. We just continue on with this win streak, and GC Busan Blue gets a 7-1 victory. They do win out to go back into the winner's match to face once again a rematch of the Korea Finals last day to see GC Busan Red and GC Busan Blue to see who's going to get that first seed going into the grand finals. Whereas PengGanDi will be joining RB Gaming from Russia in the losers match, which will be featured in the next part of our broadcast. So we ended the broadcast sort of early, and we'll be back on 1800 Korean Standard Time with this right now being 15:30 about. So
2 hours and a half.
2 hours and a half. That's probably the longest break we had between the intermissions between the two broadcasts, but we will have that pretty much of an extended break. We're back with these 4 teams back again, just with different opponents. GC Busan Blue and Red will be facing it off in the winners match. You'll be seeing PengGanDi, who just lost out, facing off against RB to get that last third spot in the grand finals.
Yeah, and we will be coming back at 1800 like Joel mentioned, and our first match will be the losers match. So it will be PengGanDi versus RB Gaming, and the loser of that match will be eliminated, and the winner will have a chance next week to place either second place, or take home the second prize money or the third place prize money. And the second match of our second portion will be to decide our first seed that will be going into the grand finals.
And the winners match also serves very much of a significance as well, because they will have to play one less match in the grand final. They can just wait in that final stage when the second and third place duke it out next Friday to see who's going to be facing off as the last 2 teams. But in the meantime, we're going to be taking a quite of an extended break, about 2 hours and 30 minutes, and to see we're going to be back with the winners match and the losers match, as we've been saying. I wonder if we're going to just go to commercial break. It will be the end of our broadcast. There you go. Thank you for getting back to the recap. I was getting scared for a second that we might go to another commercial break for no matches upcoming for this first part of the broadcast, because we just ended our part 1 of day 5 with the semifinals. Now going towards wins and wins, going for the GC Busan Red and Blue here.
No, it's just left side rigged. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we do have our results for our match 1 and match 2, and here we go. The next match is up. Like I said, we have the losers match first, and they put it as the third place match because, you know, this will be the decider of the third and the fourth place. And for our second match, we will have GC Busan Derby once again.
Finals. I don't like that title, OGM. Please, that's not really.
It's not the finals, guys.
It does not depict the actual image of the finals. Although we might, maybe OGM was just kind of being troll, saying those 2 teams will be in the finals anyway. And
no, that's too troll.
That is a little bit troll from OGN. We'll ask them afterwards what their intentions were for calling that specific match happening today. As we see on the timeline, it will be at 1800 Korean Standard Time. So you guys will have an extended break, so that we and the players will also get the very needed break, so they can bring out their top performance back out for the second part of our broadcast. But thank you guys once again for joining us for another blade&soul action. It's not over yet. The semifinals will continue after a 2.5-hour break, and we'll be back for the second latter half to see the winners match and the losers match to decide the firm 3 teams heading into the grand finals.
And you know, like Joel mentioned, the players definitely need a longer break because this is the semifinals. Only 4 teams are left out of 16 that we start. Wait, 16? Yeah, 16 teams that we started with, I think.
18.
All right, 18 because
fair,
the 2 teams were.
Sure.
Yeah. So a total of 18 teams. Now only 4 are left, and the first portion of our semifinals is finished. And now, especially the losing team, they want to, you know, maybe take some rest, get some massage from the massage chair upstairs.
Love it.
Yeah, and you know, gather their thoughts and plan out their new strategy against, you know, their new opponent that they're going to be facing. So a 2.5-hour long break may seem long, but we will be back.
And we're going to be back to find out the first eliminated team for the semifinals after this extended breaks. So along with me, Joel, Sophie, and Ending Life, we'll be back after 2.5 hours bringing more blade&soul action. See you then.